Can you hear me? Hello?
They should know.
Oops. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. All right, 10 seconds. Welcome back to the We Was Watching podcast. I'm your host, Brandon,
I'm your other host, Chanel.
and we are back to talk about a new show. Uh, I was,
A new show indeed.
I, 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 yeah, I don't know what to say about this.
Okay, I got it from here then.
This was
Welcome to
kind
the We
of
Was Watching
this.
podcast. I'm your host, Chanel.
We already said that.
Oh,
This
we did do
was,
that?
this was,
Well, just let me start from the beginning so I don't mess up. I'm your host, Chanel.
we already
And then you
did
say,
this.
but
I'm
just say that
Brandon.
part so I can go. Okay, and the We Was Watching podcast is a show for aspiring blurs and baddies who are interested in TV, film, that sci-fi, fantasy, drama, comedy, everything in between, and love to talk about the politics and everything. We are recapping um uh once in a lifetime TV experience. We are here on the edge of experimental TV. We're here in a moment when other people would back away and run from this challenge. We're stepping up. We're facing the the canyon in front of us head on. We're on the edge of the precipice and we're going for it. And that's how I would describe what we're doing here today.
If you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, leave us a review. If it's 5 stars, we'll read it on the show. You can also watch us on YouTube at youtube.com/at We Was Watching. Just search for the We Was Watching podcast. Like our videos, subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell so you can watch us go live. You can email the show at We Was Watching Podcast at gmail.com. Tell us any thoughts you have on this show. I don't even know if I want to hear those thoughts, but I do
Are you
kind of want to hear
sure?
them.
Yeah, I'm like, don't go so hard on it.
And you can follow us on all the social media platforms at We Was Watching. But before we get into the show, we need to talk.
I just realized recently we were only on like Apple Podcasts and something else. Like we had fallen off of all the other things. So now we actually are back on Amazon Music and all the other bullshit.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm glad you did that. And so we're back to before we get into the show, let's discuss what we've been on.
Don't watch TV.
So I just got back from the movies and I saw
Yes. Oh my goodness. Finally, guys, we've been waiting for Brandon to watch several movies and he finally watched one of them.
I saw one battle after another. And I thought it was a really good movie.
Oh, here we go.
Thought it was a really good movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was funny. It was a really funny movie, actually. And I thought that it had a excellent cast, and I thought the performances were excellent. There you go. I have more thoughts on it, but I don't want to get into those. But that's my general thoughts on.
Well, I've said a little bit
film.
more. Do you remember my critique of it?
Yeah, I mean, your critique's the same as it always is.
No, I had nuance on this one.
What'd you say?
I said that I think people overhype this because this is the movie people said was better than Sinners, and I felt like they used Tiana. Sorry, I know other Tianas, and I'm about to say the wrong last name.
Tiana Taylor.
Taylor, thank you. I was about to say a real Tiana's last, like a Tiana I know. Thank you. Tiana Taylor. I think they used her in a weird way. Like her character was like weirdly one-sided when she had the chance to be like extremely versatile, or like she was like Two-Face in a weird way. Like it was just very weird, and I think it
Oh,
had
I didn't
this
think that was
wonderful.
weird at all. I thought that was one of the most real things in the movie.
Did you?
Yeah, because what that was I'm about that
Oh no, he
life.
about to Brandon explain y'all, just so y'all know. Go
I'm
ahead.
about that life until I got to be about that life. And then when I got to be about that life, I'm not about that life. That's what
Yeah,
that
but I
was.
don't. Not
And
as
that,
not as a mother. See, my issue is not with her as a mother. My issue with her is like this randomly like hypersexual character, in a way that just didn't really necessarily make sense. Like I think her and then it also was like we follow her for her to be a spoiler 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We follow her for her to be a turncoat. Like it's just a weird.
Yeah,
I think it
that
was just a
part
weird
made
use
sense
of
to
her.
me. I mean, it
I
made
mean,
sense in the context of the
kinda,
movie.
but then it just got. I felt like she was used as a plot device, and I felt like it was a waste of a potential of a character that could have been a lot more dynamic. And then
She
I think
was. You're right.
that the way that yeah, and then the way that they use, like, obviously Leo is Leo. There's nothing you could say. Like there's no character that Leo's not gonna body. Obviously he's done all these things, but ever since his performance in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood or whatever that was called, um, I've been a disciple of him. Like he's one of the best actors I think in history to me. With that said,
Yes.
I think they made his character glitchy in a way that like derails the whole point of the movie. Like the whole point of the movie, I think, got lost at some point for the sake of it to become about something else. And so it's like I just think the message got forsaken for the plot at some points, and I think that there's a way to tell the story a different way. Now, mind you, that's just my critique, kind of folding into yours. But I think that it obviously is a well-made movie. Like I said, any movie where like the editing makes sense and the directing is good, I'm gonna say it's a good movie. I just think people like kind of overhyped it
I
as
mean,
if
from a
like
filmmaker perspective, it was like top tier.
fantastic. Yeah,
But
for sure. It was like very well made.
I didn't think it was the greatest movie I've ever seen. But it is one of
But
the
people
best
were
movies I've
hyping the
seen
fuck
this
out of
year.
it.
It is one of the best movies I've seen this
It
year.
is up there, but it's not better than Sinners, and it has very clear plot holes that I can also. So if we want to compare to my other movie, I think it and him has similar plot holes, and
You're the
people want to have
only
a lot to
person
say.
putting this on the same level as him. The literally the
I
only
think,
person I've
but
ever met.
because it's equally well made, I think cinematically, I think they're both cinematically very well
I can't
made,
wait to
and
watch
so
him.
yeah, what I'm saying is like from a directorial standpoint, I think there's like, or from a visual standpoint, because I'm not a director. Well, I am a director, but I'm not a well educated director. From a visual standpoint, they're both very well made movies. So I think when you get into critiquing the characters and the motivation, people say that him has some holes in the plot motivation that I think that I filled in for myself because I feel like I understood the movie. Like I understood the movie was made for me or people like me in some kind of in whatever way that is. And so I was able to understand the character, like what was not maybe not on the page. I think you have to ignore some stuff and some really dumb choices they made in one battle after another to the point where I might have to watch it again to go through it. But like the only character there that was like flawless was Benicio del Toro's character. His character, no notes, no thoughts. His character played his part. I didn't have a question about his character. The daughter randomly lies about a phone. Why would she lie about her phone?
Yeah, but no,
Oh,
that's not a plot point. That's an imperfect character. People lie about
no,
stuff all the time.
but they, no. People lie about stuff all the time. But in that scenario, the way that she lied stupidly, and they, okay,
Yeah, she did something stupid.
no, we're gonna no, we're gonna have to have this is gonna start a whole debate. So if you don't want to go into this movie, we can move on because I have
We
more
got
stuff to
10
say.
minutes. We can go into it.
That okay, mind you, I forgot to before I go back to the plot hole. Regina Hall, like so underused in this movie. That's another person who was like there and could have really been used as a stronger character and was like as a supporter, she did her thing, but I just feel like her character could have been written differently and like you just have that actress on display for her to be there in like such a weird way. Okay, what I'm trying to say about the teen, right? This does not make sense to me. So the whole time she lied about her to her dad about having a phone. Okay, I guess, but they try to hide it from the kids and they try to hide it from us and the people in the movie at the same time in a weird way. Where like that phone is the only reason why the guy, why what's his name, the Sean Penn even knows how to find her. So like the
Yes.
phone was a very important device that, but I think we both agree that if your dad has been acting dramatic and paranoid all his life, but then finally a stranger comes up to you at the dance and is like, we gotta go, and you're running out of there, you might not be like, oh man, let me just pretend like I don't have a phone until it rings. We're gonna be on the road for hours and this is clearly something very
We're
serious and
talking
I'm not gonna
about
like.
we're talking about a teenager
But you're not talking about a normal teenager. You're talking about a teenager who's been trained in this
who
thing for
thinks
so
her
long.
daddy's crazy.
but she thinks her dad's crazy until the day that someone comes up with the code words that her dad said, a woman she's never met who says exactly what her dad has been saying. So what I'm saying is that her dad can be crazy all up until the point that she's in the van with two strangers riding in the
Yes,
middle of the night and can't reach her dad, and she doesn't say anything because clearly
because she's a
that
teenager.
but I think
Do
that
you know how
plot
much
hole.
stupid shit teenagers do in real life?
I think that doesn't have anything. Okay, but so that's the one thing she did that was dumb that happened to be the reason why Sean Penn could find them. I think that's a plot hole. I think
No,
that's like a.
it's a plot
I think they use.
device.
I think it's a plot device that I think was weak.
But the
I didn't
plot
think it made
devices,
sense to
but
me.
every movie has plot
Mind
devices.
you, if she's gonna be dumb enough to lie about it and look at the lady in her face and freaking lie about it, she's gonna be smart enough to put it on silent. Is she not? She got caught because it rang.
Probably didn't think about it.
So she was thinking about it when she lied.
No, she
but
probably
didn't
didn't think
about
about putting it on silent.
No,
Yes, because they're
no, that's
stupid.
not true.
You
That's
you
not.
can
But
say that
you're making
that's
her
a
stupid in
bad
a convenient
criticism
way.
because
You're
you
making
can
her
say
stupid in a
that
convenient
about
way.
every movie. There is no movie where something convenient doesn't happen for the bad guy to find the protagonist. There
Yes,
is
there
never a
is.
movie where that doesn't happen.
No, I'm telling you that.
In Sinners, they told the people where they were going. And that's how they found the shoot joint.
Exactly, and that. But I'm saying like.
Why would you tell
okay,
those
what I'm
people that? Because they did, right? Because that's
No,
what
what
the
I'm
person
saying,
did in the movie.
I'm saying it's a convenient excuse that does not fit for me. And the way that character acted the whole movie, that's the one thing she did that was a slip up, and she lied about it for hours. I just don't think that's. I
'Cause-
think that's realistic for the kid to lie to her dad. I think it's, and then not to mention. Kid after kid comes in. She don't have a phone. She don't have a phone. She don't have a phone. Then all of a sudden, the one kid comes in. Like actually, it was like a.
No, he
It
was
was like
about to get locked up. He didn't think it was for real, and they were about to get locked up, and they were about to lock them up, and then they changed their tune. That's what happened.
I know what you're saying, but to me, it felt very convenient, and it was
It
like,
was convenient.
oh, we have to make this happen, or else they're going to get away with it. And I'm
Yes,
like,
that's every movie ever, though.
but I think that that's a convenient and somewhat that's a plot hole. That's what a plot hole is. A plot hole is when a movie makes something so like, oh, this little thing happened so that this makes okay. Actually,
That's
a
a plot
plot hole is
device.
when you can look back and something doesn't look and something
Yes.
is missing and you think they missed in the writing. I'm gonna say that this plot device is plot hole-esque, and the way that it doesn't make sense or track for this character and how she reacts the whole rest of the way. She's a bad bitch who learns how to use a gun, learns how to take care of
Yeah,
herself.
but see, that's
runs and
you
does all that,
applying
but the one-
something to the character.
No, I'm looking at the character. I'm looking at what the text. I'm
Yes,
looking at
but you're
99% of the
assuming that a
character.
character that's a badass that knows how to use a gun that does all those things would never do anything stupid. And what I'm
No.
saying is everyone does stupid shit,
And
particularly
I'm saying
teenagers.
that it was in this movie that seemed to be so cool and so like funky. It was a very trite for me that the thing that she did that was dumb was the one way that Sean Penn found her. And then and then mind you, like, okay, yeah, then the guy knows her and the guy saw the van but like it was so there was that. Then there was like there was just some weird moments when characters made choices that did not to me make sense or feel natural or feel like
Like
a
what?
twist. That was one. There was another one around Sean Penn around how he acted about there was something around how when he was doing the drug test, the blood testing that I can't, or the DNA testing I can't remember because I should have did my review when I first watched it because I'm forgetting. But there's a couple times that, and then something that Leo did. Like there were like two or three things where I was like, I don't. This is not the best use of this character, and this is like feels way too convenient, or like they're writing it this way. Another example, like this is like less so for me, but another example is the bounty hunter taking her all the way to the people just to go and get her back. Taking her, dropping her off, doing all that. I'm not saying people don't do that. I'm just saying like it's little things like that where it's
Well,
like,
they
okay,
played, but they left an Easter egg for that.
okay.
Because when the bounty hunter was talking to Sean Penn's character, he was very adamant, like, I don't do kids. He clearly had a
Right.
problem with this. And
Right,
so,
but he still drove her all the way there and left
yeah,
her.
and
just to
then
come
he
back
had
and die
second
for it.
thoughts about it.
but he didn't have
his
second thoughts on the
conscious.
drive there. He didn't have enough thoughts
No,
there. That's right.
you've never done something. You never like, you know what, I probably shouldn't do this, and then you do it, and then after you do it, you're like, fuck, I shouldn't have done that.
So
That
like I
happens to
said,
everyone.
less so, but the for me, I think some of these things were like just trying to use these devices in a way that to me stood out as like not as like it took me out of the experience because it was not flowing or it did not flow even and twists can flow sometimes like a good twist will make you say oh my gosh now that I think about it they set this up when you look at xyz that those couple things to me were like they stood out for me as spikes and like what otherwise didn't make sense. So I think the way
I
that they
don't think it
made
was a
her
perfect movie. I mean, I thought it
yeah
was. I thought it was.
I'm just telling you what my concern why I didn't like it and why I didn't think that people should be comparing it to Sinners.
Yeah, but Sinners, you can make those same arguments about Sinners. There's stuff that happened to Sinners that was
But
very convenient, but
but
you
no, but
you
they did not
accepted
stand
that
out
because
in
you
the same
liked the
way to
movie
me.
better. So I'm saying you
No, I
like the
don't.
movie
I,
better.
I don't think that's why. I like the movie. What I'm saying is that when I was watching the two, I was critical of both in different ways. And what I'm saying about Sinners is that I think that you can explain to me all the choices in a way that's grounded in the character or in the time or in the context. Everything you're saying for me is like you have to rely on, well, we all know people do this, which is not the same thing as it was written very well and the character made sense and they wrote in some nuance for the character. So there was just random things they would have people
Right, I
do
agree.
that for me, I was like, that's all I'm saying is like, so it was on the same level in terms of the characters being written. And then I think Sean Penn's character was kind of like neurotic in a way that to me didn't really click. Because I think that, yeah, there was just a couple things about it that just felt weird or off. I think the whole thing being kicked off by like her wanting him to have a boner and this sets the whole thing off was just for me like,
Well, I
I
mean,
was
that was a
confused by that
choice.
3 point. I was confused by that 3 point throughout the like that was what kicked off that I'm confused by the use of some of his plot devices. And I think it's okay to critique Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yeah,
And
I
that's all I'm
think
trying to
those
say.
are general great critiques. I was just saying a character doing something stupid is not a plot hole. It's just a choice that they use to make
I think
something
so.
else happen.
Yeah, and I
And
think
that
the other
happens
last
all the times in
you're
movies
right.
where people just
You're
do
right. That
stupid. Like every horror movie, every single horror movie of
100%.
all time, you're like, why would this person do this? And it's like, because if they didn't do that, there would be no movie. So they have to
Okay,
do
two things.
something
Right.
for that part to happen.
But things to say though. One is that is the reason why people downgrade certain movies from the conversation about like great film and great cinema because they're like okay these things felt very like they like very externally written and driven and not driven by the story. And then the second thing is just I guess I'm just more speaking to people who did try to put it in a it was a great movie and I'm just breaking it down because I think people were very harsh on other films this year that I felt like you could do the exact same so I agree with you like there's a way to say like oh there's I think
I
him
think that's
and
fair.
I think him and One Battle After Another have similar plot devices that you might not agree with and can say like, okay, the story didn't write this out as well. I don't think Sinners has that. I think Sinners has some context in it. If you go back, that would
I can't
explain
wait to
all
watch
the
him.
choices. And with that, and I think you probably won't like him because you're a follower. But I think
Mm-mm.
that
Not a follower.
I think, but I think in general,
I'm just
like
not afraid to say something's bad.
I just felt really disappointed by the use of like the actors in One Battle After Another and the way the choices that they made. I think that the Christmas Adventurers and all that was very interesting. I think the
That's the part I
Revolutionary Ball
thought
was
was
very
ridiculous.
interesting.
That's where I mean, that was, I mean, the white characters in the film,
Yeah,
they were very, there was
like
no,
Boogeyman.
yeah, it was just no subtlety to not all the
Well,
white
for
characters,
me,
but to
it
those
felt
white characters, there's no subtlety to them at all. And that's just not generally, like, there was just, they were just, like, Sean
and
Penn
I
was
hate
a fucking cyborg.
yeah. Yep, I exactly. And I think that I hate to say this, but like that is a but like Christmas Adventurers is the type of conspiracy theory I can get behind. Because I'm
Yes,
like,
see,
yeah,
that's what I'm
that's me.
saying.
Like
You
that,
can,
but in real life,
yes, that's what I'm saying to you. Your view of this is through your lens, is what I was saying, because I found that to be completely ridiculous. The way that was
no,
entirely set up
but just to be clear,
and
I agree
cartoon, it
with
was
you.
incredibly cartoonish.
No, I agree with you that it was cartoonish. No, no, no. Sorry. I agree with you. It was cartoonish, and I'm not saying my lens makes it impossible for me to see a movie that's not centered in blackness is like good. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that like the concept of some type of white Illuminati doing racist things has been proven in history. That's all I'm trying to
And
say.
so
Like,
that's
the
more
do I think
believable to
they're
you than a
no,
16
no, no,
year
no,
old
no. That's not
lying
what I'm saying. That's
about
not what
a
I'm saying.
cell
No, no,
phone.
no. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that of all the conspiracy theories that exist, that conspiracy theory is the most believable to me. I'm not saying the way it was portrayed was the best way in the movie. I think it was
Well, yeah, I mean,
cartoonishly
that's
portrayed in the
fair.
movie. I'm just saying if you told me that there's lizard people, or you told me there are people selling kids in Wayfair, or you told me that there are white people who have meetings and decide who's going to die, one of those to me comes up a little bit more often as like, okay, this
Well,
might
no,
happen to
that
some people.
entire plot point was what I had a problem with. One, it was cartoonish and ridiculous.
Hmm.
Two,
Hmm.
those characters had no subtlety at all, and I like subtle. I like
No, they're yeah,
subtlety.
they
And
were used like a
three,
Greek chorus almost, yeah.
the entire plot point made no sense
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
even in the context of the movie that we're in, once they knew
Mhm.
that he could have had a black baby,
He should
I
have been
mean,
out.
it's like they already knew before they even talked to him. Like, why would they even go look at? Like, they kind of had an idea about it, from what I gathered from it the entire time, and that should have just been it. It should have just been like, and then also there was no need to kill him because of that.
No, there was a need because he knew.
The other people knew too,
N-
because
So the way
they knew the fucking indigenous guy.
right. So I guess what I'm gonna say is that I agree with you that this is ridiculous. By the way, I'm buying a new mic because my mic is definitely fucked. I think that's what I realized today. Um, okay, I
You
agree with you
sound
that
great.
Christmas event, Christmas. No, because but I'm using my work. This is not gonna work for me. And I know it sounds great to you, but when I listen back, I feel too echoey. So I miss my mic. Um, okay, Christmas Adventures was ridiculous. The Tony Goldwyn of it all, them just sitting around or whatever. I do think that's how people do business. Don't get me wrong, but the way that it was used in the movie
Yeah,
was ridiculous.
it is.
I think they killed. I think that from what I gathered, from what I gathered, it was a situation where him choosing to this was another choice, right? Him choosing to take a whole battle battalion squadron, sending them on a mission to go after this girl. I'm like, first of all, is the taxpayers paying for that? Who's paying for this one?
Well, they
Two,
did it under the guise of busting the drug ring.
but I'm saying still, like, who's paying for that? Like, somebody still, the guy doing the investigation still knew what they were looking for, right? There are
Hmm.
people. He's not lying to everybody. He's lying to
Right.
the people that they're going to, right? So
Hmm.
one, me and you paid for that mission. Secondly, that is what made him look guilty. Because I agree, like, if it was just Jungle Pussy saying, hey, he might have had a baby with somebody, we could have that could have been dead in the water, right? But the
Right.
fact that you just launched a whole assault, like as we saw in the movie, when they put two and two together, they were like, well, actually, that gives the consciousness of guilt
Yes.
versus had he just let it be. So I do agree that like the half of the movie was dumb because it was like kicked off. And in hindsight, I'm like, all right, they wanted to write a movie about revolutionaries, and then they were like, well, how can we make it where like there's this thing that happens, and they're like, well, Tiana Taylor is sexy, so let's just have her and Sean Penn have a thing, and then the Chris, like it seems like a bunch of plots that they kind of make go parallel, like do like the DNA
Well,
diagram
yeah.
together.
Well, see,
Hexagon, what's it called?
I thought that
Hmm.
all the stuff with the teenager stuff made sense to me because I expect that from teenagers. What didn't make sense to me was after the Christmas group came and ran your ass off the road and almost killed you.
Yeah, why
What
would you go
made you
back to them
think
and
you would
think that?
go back to them and they would just be like, okay, we're good now? Like
Well,
that's not
I
what we're
wonder
like.
if
That
he
didn't
didn't.
make any sense to me from
Yeah,
a grown man who's been
I
like
agree.
a high-ranking military
A
strategist
major, yeah,
person.
correct. So I think that like, can people be petty like that? Yes. Should people just be like at his beck and call to go run and do his thing and run after civilians? No. Do we see it happen in real life? Okay, yeah. So maybe you got me there. But then yeah, for him to come back, walk back, and not just count his blessings and go back
Yeah.
home, or for him to yeah, I think that was very ridiculous. But I do think they had to kill him because he either knew too much or he
Well, at
would be an
that point,
enemy. Like
yeah, yeah.
some yeah, like so why he would go back and do all that, I do not know. But maybe he didn't know who the dude in the blue Mustang was. Let alone the fact that the dude in the blue Mustang was the best tracker of all time. Because he knew where everybody was as soon as he needed to be there. Um, so yeah, I thought that was Also, what's so funny, sorry, this is the last thing. The code word is it Gil Scott Heron's speech? What is it?
No, it's from the song "The Revolution Has Been Televised."
Yeah, that's
Well, it
Gil
won't
Scott
be
Heron.
televised. Yeah.
See how I just know these things. So Gil Scott Heron was a revolutionary activist. He was a writer and a poet. I don't know if you've ever heard of him.
Yes, I have.
Oh, okay. I was just checking because I know like you were kind of used to hang out with white people while they were doing the
Yes,
revolution.
Tiana Taylor is
So
in it, Code Knox, and they shot the movie to make you think she's the finest person of all time.
I mean, she could be up there. She could play Pam Grier for sure. Definitely play Eartha Kitt. But yeah. So well, maybe not Pam Grier. That would probably be Megan Thee Stallion. Anywho, yeah. So the whole funny thing is this whole secret code word is just like a very well known black poem. I'm just like, so if anybody was just semi well versed, they could definitely slide in. Then they got into like some more. If you're a revolutionary, you should know the code and know the text. And that part was my last critique is that because mind you, sorry, him falling off the building, hilarious, great choice. I love that twist. That didn't throw me off at all, right? But him going on that tirade against the guy for the code words, like to me went
It was
beyond
great.
funny and was like I hate it. That was the worst part for me because for you to go to the point where you're like, just forget about the code words, nigga. That's the whole point. The whole point is you could be under coercion. You have to say the code. You have to say the code words. Like, mind you, if
Yeah.
his friend hadn't been there, so I'm just saying, like, for
No,
him to
but
be acting
no,
all like,
but yes, but that's why they didn't give it to him.
no, I agree, but I think that when he went on the tirade and used the R word at the end, and I was like, this defeats the whole purpose. If you're gonna say that he's gonna make fun of the new revolutionaries as if they're too sensitive because they won't give him the code word, I was like, now you're missing the whole point. That you're missing the whole
You know,
point if he's gonna use
it
the
was
word.
supposed to be. I'm. It's like on CB4, right? When they talk to when on CB4 when they go to jail and they talking to the real Gusto, not Chris Rock's character. They're talking to the real Gusto, Charlie Murphy, and Gusto says, "I'm 10 generations deep in gangsterdom," trying to talk about his bona fides. What Bob was saying was, bruh, you new to this. I've been did this. This is a serious situation. Stop doing this. And he's fucked up. And so he's like drugged up, I should say, not fucked up. He's drugged up. So he's drugged up and it's a life death situation for him. And he cannot remember the code word. So in that situation, of course, he's gonna be like, he's gonna do everything he can to try to get it back. And I thought it was great that they didn't give it to him. I would have been with you if they'd have been like, okay, we'll just tell you because it's really bad. That would have been like really stupid. But they never gave it to him until someone else could verify it with him. And I
No,
thought
no,
that
that part
part
I
made
agree with. Like
sense. Made it
building
all make
up to
sense.
it, just to be clear, I laughed all the way through until he started like cussing the dude out, and I was like, okay, now like you're acting like it's his fault for doing his job, and that's when it was like this little like he was acting like he went to talk to a manager, and I'm
Yeah.
like, were you not a revolutionary? Yeah, like that's when I was like, okay, what are you trying to say about him? Are you actually trying to say, oh, he's not really about the cause? What are you saying about him? Because
No, he's
if you're
trying to
trying to
say that
say
in that moment, well, no, it's in line with his character. His family was always bigger than the cause. That's what caused the rift between
right,
him
but
and
I think
Tiana
that
Taylor
like
to begin with.
but that was still a very white guy move to go and call the guy the R word. Like it was a he went so far left on that I was like, unless this whole thing is for you to say anybody would be a revolutionary just to have sex with Tiana Taylor, I don't know what you were doing with that part. Like I just think they would let it go too far. I don't know if if he improv that, but that part took me out of it because I was like, this is actually like anybody my point is to say like anybody who's out here dropping bombs for the cause is doing it for all people and liberation for all. Like there's certain things you just in my understanding, there's certain things you're not gonna say. Like it's like a it's like calling, but it's like Benicio del Toro being like, "Oh, you're not Latino enough for me to save you." Like that's not something that's going to happen. Like there's just a ethos of that lifestyle that if you're going to take him out of it, you need to follow through on that with the rest of the plot, or else it's not enough to just say, "Oh, he's out of it because his daughter was out of it." That made sense, but then it went a little bit too far to left. Anyway, those are my critiques. And to be fair, I will say this: it's not about black or white for me. What it was that before I went to go see him, somebody online said it's terrible. And I was like, fuck. I was so upset. And so the whole time I was like waiting for my stomach to drop and me be like, oh, it's about to get bad. It's about to get bad. And then like besides again the Julia Fox and the eyebrows of it all, I was like, huh. And at the end I was like, this is kind of badass. Like I kind of like this. That was how I felt about the movie. Like maybe there's a couple parts where I'm like, okay, maybe this is choppy, but nothing where I was like, I don't get it, and then nothing where I didn't feel like I felt something watching the movie.
I'm
Before I went
excited to
into
see him
before I
because
went to
you're the only
because
person that I've talked to that said it's good. So I cannot wait to see it. Maybe I'll be on your side.
and
I'm going
before
to
one
it with an
battle
open
after
mind.
and before you do that, just know like this is a okay. I'm gonna come back to that, but and before one battle after another, people were like, "This is the best movie I've ever seen." I was like, okay, so I went in with high expectations. So then when I saw these plot devices flat for me, I was like, wait a minute. That's why that like seeing people's reception sometimes can be good or bad, and that's why I try not to be like yes or no about movies because I just want people to go in and not be like set up or set or like let down by it.
I
Now
saw some
coming
people
back to
that hated this movie. It was kind
yeah,
of
exactly.
polarizing
Yeah.
to me, one battle after another. Because
Well, there's
I saw
parts
some
that
people
should be
saying that like
polarizing.
it was like trying too hard, and I was like, I don't think it was trying. I don't think it was
Yeah, it
trying to
wasn't
try
trying too
hard.
hard.
I think it
I
was
think that
trying to be. I don't think it was trying to be a serious. I don't think it was trying to be like a serious like hit piece. I think it was trying to take
yeah.
a serious subject and make a fun movie out of it.
Yeah, and sometimes films are about 12 different things and one thing at the end of the day. But going back to him, people don't know. Do you remember what movie this podcast started from? What movie we agreed on that got this podcast rolling 2 years and 2 or 3 years and 100 episodes ago?
Yeah, Problem Child.
Problem Child. Me and Brandon were on another show, Bad Meaning Bad or Bad Meaning Good on Jeff versus the World's podcast. And we were the only two people on that panel who thought that Junior deserved redemption. We were like, y'all are going way too hard on Junior. And that's why I was like, I could podcast with this man. I'm telling you right now, that was a stake in the ground. Him, if you don't like him, we're going to talk about it offline because I'm going to feel some type of way if you come on here and try to tell me my movie was terrible, especially after Marlon Wayans retweeted me. You're
I
not going to
go
be able
into it
to.
with an open thought. I'm just telling you that I
I'm just
have not
telling
had
you.
a single person besides you
I'm
say
just
it's a
telling you,
good
and I'm
movie.
just telling you. I'm just telling you. Okay, all
A
that's cool,
single
but when you
person.
come here to talk to me, don't play with me.
I just found it so funny. It was like because I texted Chanel that I was talking to
Hmm.
Jeff
It's the people he loves doing the show with.
and
Favorite.
they brought up him and I was like, oh, y'all saw him? And they were like, yeah, we saw him. I was like, so was it good? Because I know it's been some mixed reviews about it. And they were like, I don't want to talk about him. And I was like, tell me, like I want to know. And they were like, and they just went in. They were just like, it's not
Rude.
And then Rashani was like, look, I saw Weapons, and Weapons was, and people were saying things about Weapons. I wouldn't say Weapons. Like I liked Weapons. Weapons was really good. It was like they thought the twist made sense at the end, brought it all together. And he was like,
See, Weapons is a twist that you have to give a lot of grace to. You have to give a lot of grace to Weapons.
but him, they did not. They did
See,
not
that's
like
what I'm
him.
saying. If you can give Weapons the grace at the end, then you can give him the grace at the end. That's all I'm trying to say. But it's okay. We can, because I think sometimes people who, you know what, also because it was a sports movie, I think people just went in with really high expectations, and so it's like they wanted it to be something, and if it wasn't that, then they're upset about it, which is like the worst thing you could do to a film. So I'll give you that. So definitely we're good. But you know what's funny? There is one other thing that came up on that podcast that we disagreed about, and it reminds me of Rashani and them because I think I brought up Eminem, and I remember you being ready to shit on him. I was like, and I'm from Detroit, and you were like, oh, when you realized I actually enjoy Eminem.
What are you talking
and we had
about?
that
I love Eminem. I'm like the Eminem defender.
Okay, well, somebody in that group was surprised. They were about to go in on Eminem, and I was like, okay, I'm from Detroit, so before we do that, and I think for those reasons, sometimes I have strong opinions that the group doesn't agree with, and that's okay.
Oh no, I'm an Eminem defender. But let's get into this show that we're here to talk about.
Once upon a time in the projects, yo.
Chanel made me watch this TV show.
I invited you to join,
and I told her I did not want.
And I tried to warn you.
I didn't want to know anything about
this
show.
First. I said, watch this first. Don't watch this unless you watch this and you like this.
And so I sat up last night. It's today Monday. Yeah, I sat up last night right after it came out,
mm-hmm.
and I turned on this show.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the show. It was fucking excellent.
It's ridiculous. Okay. I need to put a pin in something. I finished.
You didn't tell me this was Curb. This is like schizo. This is like intense Curb. If you made Curb Your Enthusiasm intense, that's what this is.
Brandon, next time we do what we've been on, remind me to tell you about adolescence before I forget that. Um, okay, this show is okay. When I was watching this episode, I almost pulled the plug.
Why?
I couldn't, cause I couldn't get through the episode. I had to pause it multiple times because I know who Tim Robinson and Zach Cannon are and what they would do to a character, and I know the lengths they would go to. I was like, when I tell you anything could have happened in this pilot, like people could have died in this pilot. We
Who's
could
Zach
have ended
Cannon?
this
Is
pilot.
he an actor or
He's a
he's the writer?
co-creator, and he's
Okay.
also he also did I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson. And so for anyone who's not hip, Tim Robinson is a native of Metro Detroit. Also did Detroiters with Sam Robertson. Why I'm gonna get Sam's name wrong? What if his name's not even Sam Robertson? It's Roberts. Sam Roberts. No, that's a professional wrestling player. Detroit. Let's just go for it. That's also not him. Am I okay?
I don't think you're
Detroiters.
okay.
Detroiters, Tim and Sam.
That's not gonna
His
pull it
blood.
up.
Richardson. I'm so black. Okay. Sam Richardson and Tim Robinson. And so anyway, they are, and the fact that I messed his name up is crazy because I definitely have been in love with this man at some point in my life. So anyway, those two, they like Richardson went to high school like 15 minutes from where I went to high school. Like we're all very in the network. So, years apart, but like I'm just saying. They made Detroiters. Detroiters was a show before its time. If you have not watched it, stop what you're doing. Go watch Detroiters. If you don't like it by at the end of the first episode, you don't like this. You won't like this podcast. But if you do like Detroiters, you'll watch through the first two seasons and be like, why did this show get canceled? And again, it'll be ahead of its time because Detroiters is what Workaholics got. Detroiters deserves the Workaholics treatment, which is like 5 seasons and podcasts and all this shit. Anyway, they both went on to do other things. Sam Richardson does a lot of other stuff. He was in After Party on Apple TV. And so Tim Robinson then went with Zach. Now, mind you, am I telling the full story? Absolutely not. I'm only telling you what I know. But then Tim and Zach went and made this show called I Think You Should Leave, which has had 3 seasons on Netflix. And it's a sketch comedy show. And it's one of the most ridiculous things you'll ever watch in your life. It's just the only way to describe it is it's very stupid. It's so stupid. But the premises will make you so uncomfortable because it's just that this guy who just it's not even like he's on the spectrum. He just will make you uncomfortable, and that's just what he's gonna do because he can't help himself. So this guy who can't help himself is the thing in all these sketches. Is like this common thread. So when we started the chair company, and when he fell in that chair, I was like, oh, anything's fair game for the rest of this episode.
Yeah. So if you're listening to this, if you like uncomfortable comedy, like a Curb Your
Like
Enthusiasm,
uncomfortable, but more so than Curb. Yeah, it is schizo Curb.
it's I mean, I don't know if it's more cringy because Curb can get really cringy,
Curb was cringy, but then
but it's
just like
more
Larry was
intense. It's
because
like
Larry was
more.
always going to go home to his house, and Larry would like have these stakes, but you knew Larry was still going to be Larry at the end of the day. This show, this man can lose everything next episode.
Yes, yeah, that's entirely possible. So this episode was called "Life Goes Too Fucking Fast." It really does. That's the name of the episode. Life goes too
Because of a
fucking fast. It
YouTube
really
comment.
does.
This show.
So it starts at dinner, and before I knew their names, I said it's a white family eating dinner, and they give a toast to Ron.
They tell you so much about them. Well, before they do that, they take a selfie, and they're just taking a selfie. So imagine they're in the middle of this California pizza kitchen. They take a selfie, and they start going, "Everyone, get in the picture. People are looking. People are staring. Mind you, no one's looking, no one's staring. But you could tell this is like a high stress, like it's a Midwestern family that like has an interesting like mom dad like heterodynamic. They're doing a toast, like Brandon says, and this setup right here lets you know what this shit's gonna be the rest of the show. This mini scene right here defines the whole show, I think.
And they give a toast to Ron, talking about the last few years has been tough. And the waiter comes up and after the toast and says, "Oh, are you such and such?"
No. The waiter doesn't come up after the toast. The waiter hovers in the middle of the wife's toast.
Yeah, and then she says, "Are you such and such?" I forget his name, Seth something or another. The son plays basketball. He's like, "You play basketball at this high school?" He was like, "Yeah." He's like, "You played at my school. You was really good. Like, I just wanted to say what's up or whatever." And then Seth was like, hey, waiter, you know my dad's about to be in charge of a new mall?" And she says, I ain't been to a mall since I was like 14 years old. And I'm about to play the scene. Chanel's mad about the scenes, but I don't care because we're not monetized
No,
yet.
hold on. I'm not mad about the scenes. Our last episode got taken down altogether by YouTube because we played too much of Peacemaker on HBO. And Brandon wants to keep playing with fire. So if you're listening back to this and there's minutes gone from the episode, it's because of Brandon.
It got taken down on Spotify?
It got taken down altogether on YouTube.
Oh, YouTube. Oh, okay. So
but Spotify, see, Brandon also plays these games because in 2 months, Spotify would be like, hey, we found it.
On YouTube, I can just go mute it out and we're good. So I'll edit that. But this scene is too good not to play.
I'm just saying, if you're listening now and there's 7 minutes missing from this whole episode, Brandon.
All though, since I was like 14.
Yeah, you probably have.
Petty Gibbs, if you're still in here, this is so Curb, by the way. This is so Curb.
I probably just didn't realize it. They've changed a lot in the last few years.
Yeah, no, I don't think I've been to one in a really long time.
They're just more naturalistic now and less intrusive than what you used to think of when you thought of a mall. So you might have been in a mall.
Well, I think I would have known if I was in a mall.
I'm saying you wouldn't know you're in a mall. I bet you were in a mall.
No, yeah, I'm just saying I haven't been to one.
Probably have been recently.
Dad.
Natalie, she's been in a mall. I mean, this is kind of a mall.
This is a restaurant.
I know, but it's also kind of a mall.
How?
Because it is. Because there's shops around and the way the parking lot wraps around.
Okay, fine.
Thank you. That's.
Hey, I'm actually picking at that. Don't take that, please.
It's like a fourth of a deviled egg. Mind you, okay, sorry. I feel very passionate about this scene. First of all, she's a bitch.
How is she a bitch?
Because they were doing a toast and she comes and hover. I'm already so tapped in on this character. She's hovering during the toast. Who does that? Like, wait until the toast is done, the cheers, and then come up and hover. But she literally hovers behind the wife while she's doing the toast, like early on, right? She stays there for a while. It's very awkward. And then when the son tries to redirect it to the fact that, bitch, you just interrupted my dad's toast, she goes, I don't even know what a mall is. Girl.
No, that's not what she said. She says, "Oh, that's cool. I haven't been to a mall in like a long time."
You give people too much grace. She's being bitchy. I'm telling you. I speak teenage girl. I speak teenage girl. She was not being funny.
I thought she was being genuine, and this psychopath just went off on her.
No, she just wanted to interrupt because she thought the boy was cute, and she picked her moment. Now, mind you, sorry, this is the only time in the episode I feel bad for Ron. So don't get me wrong. I don't feel bad for the whole time, but this start, I was like, okay, hold on, give him his moment. And I think this is the point. Because nobody would just let him have his moment, he's a ticking time bomb.
So Ron says, that person was weird. Wasn't that weird? And his son's like, hey, Dad, is this really a mall? And he's like, kind of. Like,
I propose a brand new segment where at the end of the episode we decide if something in the episode was a mall.
I like that, except I don't know what that means.
That's the point. we're in a new era of this podcast right now. Nothing's about to make sense.
He then asks then another waiter comes by and tries to take the plate because obviously it's like a quarter of a deviled egg left.
Literally, it's so small.
And he's like, no, I'm keeping that. Why is everybody picking at me? In fact, get me a box. I'm taking this home.
Honestly, mood. Like this, he gets to a point where I'm like, mood, because leave me and my family alone. Like, we are in the middle of a serious ass conversation. Unless you coming over because I called for you, leave us alone. Now, mind you, I'm not rude to wait staff. I'm not rude to wait staff.
And then I can't tell.
No, this is just a scene.
And then the very next scene, they do a hard cut to the bedroom, and he's like complaining about his fucking pillow.
He goes, is my pillow made of metal? I got the hardest pillow in the whole Midwest. And Brandon, I just want you to know, Tim and these guys, they have a cult following. If you start to look at any of the posts, you're going to start seeing quotes. These one-liners are already famous. The pillow one-liners I already started quoted multiple times on Instagram. Like we're in quote city right now, just so
So
you know.
then we go to work the next day, and
It's his big day. He's getting his promotion.
a woman comes up to Ron and says, Brenda wants to see you before her meeting. And so he's like, all right. So he leaves the room, he goes into like this conference room, and everyone is in there. It's a surprise. It's like surprise, and everybody's happy for him. He's getting his promotion, and
Nigga
they
take
give
a
him a
shot.
shot. And they're like, it's tradition, take the shot. He takes the fucking shot. Another guy comes to Rob and says he was up for the promotion. Oh, I forget. I got the guy's name later in the episode.
It's like Glenn or something.
I'll come back. I'll get it later. Because at this time, I didn't know nobody's name when I was writing these notes.
Yeah, we'll get it later.
And he's like, I was up for this, and I didn't get it. But I'm kind of glad I didn't, because it put life into perspective. And so now I'm about these bubbles. And this is like an older guy, probably in his 60s, who's walking around his job in an office with
a bubble necklace.
With a bubble necklace on. Yes, that's exactly what's happening. And he tells Ron,
Mind you, mood. Life isn't that serious. Blow bubbles. He's not completely. Now, is he weird for this? Yes. Is he completely wrong? No.
Let me tell you something.
No.
When I used to work in the office, if I had some fucking old guy blowing bubbles all over the fucking office, that would drive me insane.
It would drive you insane. But the thing is, like, I think this is the point of it all right now. It's 2025. The world is in flames. Let's stop pretending like decorum is a thing. Let people be weird in public.
No, decorum is a thing. It's just that the terrible people don't follow it.
No, that's what I'm saying. So if terrible people don't follow it, then let the good people blow the bubbles. Let's have equal chaotic good. This is chaotic good. That's what we need. We need that chart that's like chaotic good, chaotic evil, neutral good, lawful evil. This is chaotic good.
So now you play Dungeons and Dragons?
Is that what that's from?
Yes.
Oh, I have. Oh, wow, that's amazing. Because I thought it was a meme. Because I'm not a blurred. So.
Yeah, you clearly play Dungeons and Dragons.
No,
so then we go to the Fisher Robe speech, and
again, everything's good. This is a normal guy who's getting a promotion, guys.
Well, Ron, this wasn't even about a promotion. They were announcing like a new development in Ohio
the promotion
somewhere.
Is that he's managing the new mall in Canton, Ohio. So like, yeah, mind you, what I want to say before we move forward, because it's gonna keep like, it keeps coming up for me. This is what's so important about this show. It is like effortful and effortlessly diverse. Because okay, maybe his wife is white and his kids are white too. The manager's then black. The people are Asian. Like they're gonna just mix in diversity throughout the actual world instead of just randomly making everybody white. And I think that's what I appreciate about him. Like mind you, in Detroiters, he happened to be married to Sam's sister, so he had a black woman as a wife. Like just making sure that you see diversity in like random places. If the main characters are white culturally, that makes sense. But you can build it in somewhere else, and that's another nod I want to give to this show.
And his boss calls him up to give a speech. So he comes up and he talks about he wants this mall to be peaceful and therapeutic. And he looks forward to cutting the ribbon.
He's talking about sustainability, and he's trying to argue that they can make the mall as good as the nature that they tore down for the mall.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Well, you got to put a park in the mall. Then there you go. So then Ron goes. He's done his speech. They're clapping for him. And so they're on a stage. And so picture a stage. And if you're facing the stage, on stage right, which would be stage left as an actor. But if you're facing the stage, on stage right, there's like a podium. And behind there's like a screen.
Did we forget to say that Lou Diamond Phillips is a VP?
I didn't think that was important to say, but I'm glad you said it. And so if you're facing the stage, there's like a screen behind in the back of the stage showing slides. And on the right of the stage, there's a podium. And then on the left side of the stage, there's like a group of workers that are all sitting in chairs, like lined up, like graduation, almost.
Like a dais, yeah.
And so that's where Ron came from. So then Ron he's done his speech. He's going back to sit with the rest of the group.
He did a good job.
And he sits down and his chair explodes. And he just falls on the ground and he hits his back of his head on the ground. So he's kind of disoriented for a second.
In front of everybody, like the whole company.
As soon as he gets himself together to open his eyes up, a woman is standing right over top of him. So of course, when he opens his eyes, he's looking right up her skirt. He wasn't
Mind you,
doing it on purpose, but she
mind you,
just
she's
was.
looking down at him, so she's fully aware that she has a skirt on. This is
Yeah,
another thing where I was like, he hasn't pissed me. I'm still on his side because why are you standing over him knowing you got a skirt on?
she said that. She stood right over him. But to be fair to her, she probably wasn't thinking about that. She's probably thinking,
Right? No,
you just
no.
exploded your fucking chair.
No, this is helpful context for you. And you, as a woman, you know that you have a skirt on. There's never been a person for any reason able to look under your skirt and you don't bunch your skirt up or move away. It's just not a thing that you don't
I
have
completely
awareness of.
100% disagree. And you know how I know this?
What?
Because I used to be a club promoter. And let me tell you something. As a
I
club
want you to
promoter,
save your skirt at that point in time. That's different. That's a different
no.
environment.
As a club promoter, I know for a fact that some people forgot what they were wearing when they were doing certain things.
No, I
And then
agree with you.
realized it.
That's it, but that's a completely different environment. I think outside of like club drunken
Okay,
partiness where
that's
people are
fair.
supposed to be letting go,
Coffee.
I would say like as a girl, my because I think in general, my whole thing is just to step back. Like most people step back or he would lean in. So it's
Yeah.
her. This is on her. I'm sorry, this is on her. You know what? But it was her birthday. She was feeling free.
It was that's right. We did find that out later. You're right.
So stupid.
And so this is like a really embarrassing thing. And so he literally goes and he goes to his office. And
We get a second before that where he's just standing and just like all the sound goes out, and I was like, so far, still a mood because would you be before you move on, how long would it take you to recover from falling out flat on your ass in front of your
I
whole
would have
company?
got up immediately because the longer you stay, the more embarrassing it is.
Yes, no, I don't mean physically, I mean mentally. How
Oh,
long would it take
mentally.
for you
Oh,
to not
yeah.
be like,
Yeah. A long time.
because
A
he's
very
like
long
zoning
time.
out on the thing. I'm like, oh, I would have had to be like, oh, you know what? It's not even because of the fall. I just had to use the bathroom. I'll be right back, and I would have just went home. Like, there's no way I'm not. There's no way I'm there 10 minutes later.
No. Well, he wasn't trying to be there. He goes into his office and then he pulls a George Costanza and he gets under his desk and he's like freaking out, just like losing it. And then his boss comes in and he immediately sits completely still so that she doesn't know that
He
he's
doesn't
there.
want to get caught losing it under his desk. Which again, I'm just gonna tell you the moment I turn on him because so far, understandable.
And then she looks through like a desk hole and he's looking through the desk hole at her and then he hides. Do you think she saw him through the hole?
I think she did, but I think she was like, "Don't. It's no way." She's like, "That's got to be it. That's got to be my mind playing tricks on me." Because why would this grown man be hiding under his desk? Or also, even if she did, she's giving him grace. She's like, you know what? He just fell in front of everybody. Let him have a second.
By the way, when I was a kid, I wanted to work in an office just so that I could have somebody build a fort under my desk like George Costanza, where he had like sandwiches, he had the TV down there. He brought he had compartments down there that could pull out pillows and stuff where he could rest and take a nap. That's like one of the coolest episodes of Seinfeld. So that's what this reminded me of.
Real. Yeah, no, I felt for him because I was like, bro, just sometimes you just want to disappear into the ground.
So then he gets back to his car and he gets a message from his wife asking how it went. He's just like, it was great. And she says, well, the recruiter's here for Seth. Are you going to make it home in time to talk to him? And he was basically like, nah, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to make it home.
He's like, I still have to be at the party. Mind you, he's in the middle of the woods somewhere, just like in a void.
And so by the time he gets home, he's in the bed dreaming about the fall. So it's like, that's all he can think about is the fall. So the next day at work, he walks in and the team is in a room laughing. And you can look on his face that he thinks they're laughing about him. And they come in and they kind of cut down the laughing and they have a stand up. And the dude from earlier comes in blowing fucking bubbles in the middle of the stand up. This is what I'm talking about, Snow. You can't make excuses for that. You cannot be in a meeting and just decide to pull out your bubble thing and blow bubbles. I don't care what you say about society. That is not okay.
It hadn't officially started yet.
There has to be some base level of understanding at a job where you're not going to blow bubbles in a meeting.
But if you're going to tell me you're not going to appreciate what I'm doing for this promotion, I'm going to bring bubbles in. Fuck you.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And so he's like, dude, cut the shit to Bubbles. And then he goes, and he walks over to his desk.
No, sorry. Nobody says anything. Everyone's just awkwardly like letting the bubbles fall on them.
So before he goes, when stand-up's about to be over, he goes to get something. He goes to pull out his chair and he goes, before I sit down, maybe I shouldn't have, maybe I should think twice about this or something like that. He tries to make a joke about it and they all laugh and go, oh, whew, thank goodness that you're making, I didn't know what to do about this, but I'm so glad you're making fun of this because, and he was like, oh, it was bad. So they all kind of take turns making a little bit of joke about it.
So pause right there. This is the moment that he lost me.
So then he comes back with this.
Didn't get hurt, because that could happen.
Here lies William Ronald Trosper, fell off his chair.
I'm glad it was me, because if it was Doris, she would have been dead. That's serious, though. I thought a lot about this. My wife even said to me last night, like, Ron, you're like not in bad shape.
You did not talk to your wife last night at all.
I'm lying, bro.
But Doris, she's like a little older. Something wrong with her hip. If that would have happened to her, she could have died.
What's wrong with her hip?
Not sure, but you've seen the way she walks. There's definitely something wrong with her hip.
Oh, I didn't know.
It's nothing to know, Lewis. Something you could see. That's why she's so slow in the hall. All I'm saying is those things are dangerous. Someone should get a hold of that company and let them know that their chairs could really hurt somebody, maybe even kill them.
Totally. I would hate for Doris to die.
Yeah, for anybody for that matter, Lewis. Anybody who doesn't take good care of themselves.
How do you know Doris doesn't take good care of herself? She's just an old lady.
He hates Doris.
All right.
Mind you, this is what's crazy about mental health. This is why I think I relate so much to what he does, because it's helping you to see the manifestation of how something, because we have these moments alone with this man, we understand what's actually going on with him, and then we see how he's around people, and we see the confusion of him acting what's considered normal, and then him kind of acting stuff out. Because right after he falls, he says a little joke even then, right? But then afterwards, he's obsessed with it, and I'm like, oh my god, that's
he says I shouldn't have ate the last Cheeto.
Which is great joke. Yeah. Great recovery in the moment, and so it makes people more comfortable. But the more he makes people comfortable, the madder and the more angry he is. I'm like, oh my gosh, I resonate. So I don't know if this is just ADHD or whatever's going on here, but I'm relating so much to his character sometimes. But then at this point when he starts lying, like Brandon said, because now there's this secret his family's not going to know, he's embarrassed, and it's going to become a bigger thing. And it's just it's a metaphor for anything, but when something major like this happens to you and you don't share with the people at home, there's just going to start to be this divide. And so even if he wasn't the character he is, we'd see this show up probably. But because he's who he is, we immediately see the effects of how upset he is. But like you said, he makes up this whole thing about how he hates Doris. Well, basically he hates Doris. So he makes up the whole thing about how Doris should have been the one to die. And the last thing I want to say about this is that in his defense, the chair just full on collapsed. He didn't do anything to that chair. When I watched it again, the chair just in a second was done. So I will say this, something was definitively wrong with the chair. It's not a good chair.
After they leave, we'll get to that. He sees someone leaving out of a different room. The maintenance guy or the janitorial person. And
but in the stand-up, they had two important things he needed to do. So he's immediately like, hey guys, before they leave his office, he's like, I'm going to do this right now. Don't you worry. And as soon as they leave his office, he's supposed to do his work. That's what Brandon's describing.
Then he sneaks into this other room, pretending he has to get his water bottle refilled.
No one's paying attention to him.
And he walks back in the room where they had the announcement, and he sees the broken chair, and he's trying to take pictures of it so that he can get information to call the chair. And then it's called Tecca. And so then the guy comes in, he's like, what are you doing in here? Are you taking pictures of my wheelbarrow? And I'm like, what is happening? What is this television show? And then he's like, this is an inside wheelbarrow. It's not an outside wheelbarrow.
He's like, are you the one who's been complaining about my wheelbarrow? Because I do not take this outside. I promise you, you don't tell on me.
And Ron's like, what are you talking about? I'm just taking a picture of the fucking chair. And so he goes back
Mind
to
you,
his
on,
office.
on another network, that guy has a whole show about the wheelbarrow. And this is a crossover episode.
Yeah.
Like, that's the concept you should think about. Every random character we have, they're going through their own random thing. We just see them in that random moment.
So then he goes back to his office and he calls the support number, but they contract out their support. So it's not directly to the company. And so he's like, look, there's big problems with Tecca chairs. Big problems. Can you transfer me to somebody important? The guy's like, I can't do this. Like, you can tell me what's going on. Like, he's like, are you guys with Tecca? And they say the name of the company, that the contracting company they're with. And he's like, how can I not get on with someone so I can discuss how bad these chairs are on a large scale? Like,
And
this
he
is...
says, and so they can apologize to me and we can recall these shares. Which, mind you, the apology, insane. But the recall, potentially, he's potentially not wrong. Potentially.
No, it's worse than that. He says, one of these chairs could cause a mass casualty. That's what he said to the guy. And then somebody walks in and he hangs up the phone immediately like he's doing something wrong.
Did you catch what he said?
No, what did he say?
He said, oh, fucking phone's at me.
The phone's at me. Yeah.
This is what I'm saying, Brandon. When I went in the comments, there were 30 people saying, phone's at me, phone's at me. Like, people love his little random shit he says.
And so then he calls him right back afterwards. So back at home, he's being loud as fuck cooking dinner. He's like cutting up some carrots or something, but he's not cutting them like a normal person. He's chop, chop, like he sees on TV, like he's trying to do what he TV, but he's doing it so over exaggerated. And then he gets online.
It's 2 a.m., mind you. I don't know why he couldn't go to sleep until then.
He goes to the Tecca website and he's talking to an AI chatbot, but he's acting like the AI chatbot's another person at 2 a.m. They probably do have real people on the online chat, but they're not going to be on there at 2 a.m.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. This is me. This is so me. Because I'll be like, he's like, I need help. And they're like, please see the website. He's like, I did that already. And that's me. Because if I go to the website, I can't get it. And I have to chat you and you tell me this, I'm going to lose my freaking mind. Because I need this technology to work. Mind you, that's why I was late to the stream. Our oven just died. And nothing makes me more mad than technology not working the way it's supposed to work. Like, it makes me short circuit. So I was watching this. I was like, oh my God, like, this is me. This is me at 1 a.m. on a chat bot. Like, why won't you fix this?
And so he goes back in and he's on this chat bot. He's calling them fucker and all types of shit. And so then he writes an email to them and he puts urgent in this subject line. And he sends the email. He feels satisfied.
I wish I could have taken a screenshot. It's like basically him being like, I had a very important day and you ruined the moment because your chairs were poorly made. Like, it becomes 3 paragraphs.
And after he sends the email, he's completely satisfied with himself. And then like 10 seconds later, he gets a bing because the email pinged back because it doesn't exist anymore. And he fucking loses it. And so now he's...
Okay, hold on. Would you or would you not lose it at that point?
I mean, I probably wouldn't have cared this much.
No, okay, but think about something that, like, actually think about you put on you get your new Herbie popcorn thing and you go to drink the drink and it zaps you and you're like, oh shit, I literally could have gotten electrocuted because of this. And you go to the website and they're like, oh, like Incredibles or what the fuck are they called? Fantastic Four. We don't have nothing to do with that. You actually got to go to this website. And then you go. You're going through all that. You are concerned because somebody will be hurt by it.
That's fair.
What do you do when it's 1 a.m. and the email bounces back immediately? Are you telling me you just let it go and go to sleep?
Yeah, at that point, I'm just like, I need to go to sleep. I'll do this tomorrow.
Okay, so you are a healthy individual. Because that would have me up for 2 more hours.
No, I just get real bad anxiety and depression, so I had to protect myself sometimes. So when things get me upset,
that sounds like
I just gotta go. So then
that's good. I'm happy to hear that.
He's back at work the next day, freaking out so he calls the support person again, freaking out on this man on the phone. He wants an apology and he wants a massive recall.
Mm-hmm.
And he said if someone was hurt by so the guy on the phone says,
and now he won't even admit it's him anymore, by the way. He's like, my friend. Now it's his friend.
No, before that, the guy on the chair on the phone says, if somebody was hurt by the chair, we could get in contact with the legal department, and they'd get in contact with
They
you.
have
And
to get back to you.
he goes, what if I could prove someone was in danger by the chair? And the guy goes, how the fuck would you do that? And then he looks over at Doris and starts plotting. And so he tells,
my mom thought he wanted to kill Doris at this point, and I was like, I don't know that he didn't want to, but again, because she's seen some of the sketches with me, she's like, is Doris about to die? And I was like, I don't know, and that's when I started to get stressed because I was like, this show could go anywhere from this moment. Because what is happening this whole time is you're realizing he hasn't done anything for work. Nothing he's supposed to do
no.
for work the last day has been done.
So he then he plans.
He goes to the assistant and he goes, "Hey, can
Yeah,
you?"
he goes to the assistant and tells you go get some candy and snacks and bring it to the break room. Tell everybody to get it. Come in there and get some. So then he think about like Snidely Whiplash from Wacky Races from Penelope Pitstop, who sets a trap and then runs. Yeah, you're too young. You're too young for that.
Thank you.
He sets a trap and then he goes and runs to hide behind something to look to see what his trap does. So he's like peeking through the curtains in his office to see if Doris is going to go in the room and get the damn snacks, and she don't leave.
So, what do you think it was? Do you think he was going to swap her chair out, or do you think he just thought she was going to fall when she came back to the chair?
Yeah, no, he's going to swap her chair out.
Okay, yeah. So he's waiting on Doris to leave. Like Doris is just. By the way, he just doesn't fuck with Doris. We already know this, and so he has his camera held up to like through the blinds of his office window, and I thought he was gonna get caught doing that. I thought that was gonna be what the thing was, but it's worse. What actually happens is worse than this.
So then he gets angry, and he tells
because she doesn't get up to get a snack.
He asks his assistant, "What the fuck did you buy?" And she says, "I got granola. Everybody's loving it." He goes, "Why the fuck would you get granola? Go get some cookies and shit."
And again, this is a man who has goodwill in his office. He's just been promoted. People like working with him. The first time we see him snap on somebody is because it was granola and not cookies. So we see, like, you can tell people are reacting to him because he doesn't talk to people like this normally.
So then he's doing the same thing again, and Doris is getting ready to go get some of the snacks this time. And then one of the other younger people come over and is like, "Hey, Doris." I don't know, the old guy comes over and starts blowing bubbles. And
Doris is
to distract
it. She's
Doris.
having a day.
And then a young guy comes over and is like, "Hey, Doris, so you didn't have to get up. I brought you back some cookies." And so Ron snaps.
Because Doris is not going to fall into his trap.
And he walks out there. And oh, yeah, the guy blowing bubbles, his name is Douglas. And he goes, "Douglas, the fuck are you doing with these bubbles? Like, why are you got bubbles all over, thrown in front of people. You got it all in Doris's hair and shit. Like, you can't be doing this in the office. This is fucked up." Everybody's like stopped and looking.
Day. Yeah, everyone stopped what they're doing. It's causing way more, like, the chair thing came and done. It happened. It wasn't his fault. This is actually his fault now, and people are stopping to look.
And so Douglas takes a piece of paper and starts patting Doris's head to get the bubble wetness out of her head.
Well, no, because they go back and forth, and then he snatches the bubble necklace out to be like, "Stop doing that." And Douglas is like, oh my God. You have the line that he said? He said something like, "I guess we get what you want when you ask for it, don't you, Ron?"
Oh, I missed that part.
Yeah, he's like basically, because again, this is the guy who Ron stole his promotion. Now Ron is snapped. He snatched his bubble necklace off the way that T.I. snatched off Nunu's necklace in ATL. It was so disrespectful. Have you seen that movie? Were you? Oh,
I saw that terrible movie.
The kids did that movie. Okay, we can see it, but that's a classic movie. So it's like you just don't. Anyway, whatever. Also, not a good movie, but Him was better.
I hope Him was better than ATL. I hope so.
So he snatches the thing off, and mind you, like, he's causing a whole scene. So again, people might be attributing the two, but now, like, this is causing more ruckus than the chair thing altogether.
Yeah. So then, the woman who he saw up his skirt comes into his office, and she goes, "Listen, I know it wasn't intentional, and I know you weren't trying to do anything, but I got to tell Diane that you saw my skirt." He's like, "Why the fuck are you talking to Diane? Like, you just said it was unintentional." And she was like, "And it was my birthday."
Yeah, she goes, "I know you didn't plan for it to happen." And he goes, "How would I have done that?"
And she's like, "Well, I got to go tell Diane. And it was my birthday." So she runs out. And
And that's
then
when I said, okay, hold on now actually I'm back on his side, because what do you mean you knew it wasn't intentional? Do you think he embarrassed himself in front of the whole company so he could see your hands?
yes, exactly. So then Brenda comes to his door and he thinks it's
He thinks
about
it's about
this.
this.
And
Yeah,
he
yeah.
sneaks out the back door of his office, runs down,
Well, no, it's
runs into
sorry,
the
it's not just about. He doesn't just think it's about this. We see Douglas holding up the bubble necklace to Brenda, being like, "He did it," like telling on him, so he knows he's in trouble.
Rabbit says, "Is this Apple TV?" No, this is HBO Max. HBO Max. And so then he
Called the
sneaks out
chair
the back
company.
door. He runs down to the maintenance office, like into the maintenance room, and he runs into the janitor again. And he's like, and he's outside this time, and he looks at
With
him.
the
He sees the wheelbarrow, and he's like, they start talking about the wheelbarrow, and
He's
and then
mind
I
you, he
was
doesn't
like,
say anything. The guy just knows he's caught, because in his mind, somebody's been complaining about this wheelbarrow, and he swore on his life it wasn't an outside wheelbarrow. And then he sees the wheelbarrow outside. He knows he's cooked.
so then we get back home, and Ron is looking at pictures of his family, and then he Googles emotional wedding songs. And he starts drinking, and he starts playing this
Oh, sorry,
emotional
because the
wedding
daughter's
song.
getting married. The daughter's getting married, and when they took that selfie in the beginning, they mentioned like this is going to go into your photo album. So daughter's getting married, son is trying to get recruited for college basketball. All these things are happening. We only hear about them when he goes home, because all he's been thinking about so far is this damn chair.
And he zooms in, and he's getting emotional. Then he gets to a work picture, and he sees the chair. He zooms in on the chair, and he sees that it's a Tecca chair, and it has an address on it. He's like, "Yes!" And so
It's in Ohio, and
and
mind you, it's 1:30
this
in
is
the
late
morning.
at night, and he
Mhm.
gets dressed, and he's going to this address. But on his way out, he stops at the
He's
refrigerator
hungry.
2 days later and eats a quarter of the deviled egg that's 2 days old. Been sitting in his refrigerator.
And he's like, "Oh, I'm so glad I brought it home with me."
So then he drives to the fucking warehouse. He sneaks in through a broken fence. He sneaks into the warehouse under a semi-open garage door. He gets in. It's mostly empty, except there's a copy machine there that has pictures of nude women. And I'm like, what is this? Like it's like, what do they call it? Boudoir? What's it called? What's it called?
Boudoir? No, it's corn. It's not boudoir. It's
It's
because boudoir you still covered. It's actually like if
Are
you
you?
because when I watched it again, it was full titty.
Oh, okay. And so, but they're like black. They're like artful though. They were like black and
It
white.
was it was like it didn't make any sense that
No.
these stills are in this copier of
Yeah.
this place that used to be a chair. So when it's all said and done, this scene obviously is gonna have like these are breadcrumbs.
So then he looks to the left, and there's a giant fucking tarp. And he takes the tarp off, and it's just a
And mind you,
giant.
I thought it was a pile of chairs under this tarp.
No, it's just a giant red ball.
Again, another breadcrumb. This will all make sense at the end, or it'll never be referred to again. I don't know which.
So then his stomach starts to act up because he ate that old ass
Because of
deviled
the egg.
egg, and he runs to go take a shit. And while he's in there taking the shit, he hears somebody coming. Somebody screams, and he lifts his leg up, but he has the flashlight on his phone. So someone clearly knows someone's in there.
Yeah, but they don't scream because of that. They scream like somebody's attacking, like something's going on in there while he's doing number two. While he's eliminating, something's going on.
And he tries to hide, and then he immediately he like half wipes himself, but what he does is he just puts the toilet tissue in his ass and then pulls his pants up.
He uses the toilet tissue like a stopper. I've never in my life seen this, and
That's
I don't
right.
ever want to see it again. And I was just I was like, ew, he's not washing his hands. Mind you, he still needs to wash his hands even if he didn't wipe. But the point is that he clogs it all
Well,
up.
in that scenario, you don't have. In matter of fact, in that scenario, you don't need to wipe nor wash your hands. If you think you're in danger, you just get your ass up and run.
Yes, but I do think you should always wash your hands when you've been in the bathroom, even if you didn't do nothing. Like even if you just
Not if you're in danger.
I think not if you're in danger, but what's worse, staphylococcus pneumonia or whatever's happening on the other, whatever you get from.
If I heard somebody scream and I hear a loud ass noise of somebody scream, and I'm in the fucking bathroom, that's worse.
What is it called when you get poisoning from like poop? It's not pink eye. I don't mean pink eye. Like, what is it called? Anyway, I don't know if it's worse to be sick from that or to be dealing with the guy who's screaming. It's a toss up for me. But like you said, he runs on out of there with the tissue stuffed up his ass. He gets in the car, he skirts off, he runs away. Like, he doesn't check anything out, which is actually, you want to talk about plot devices, for the guy who goes at 2 a.m. to discover the abandoned factory and goes through everything. I'm actually surprised he didn't investigate the strange noise. I'm actually shook by that.
So then he gets back to this like other place, and oh no, that's the next day.
In the office next.
So yeah, so then the next day, Brenda wants to see him, and
oh shit, I can't run
Alon
from it.
is there.
It's either gonna be Douglas with the bubble necklace, or it's gonna be homegirl with the birthday look up her skirt.
And she gets in and she's like, "Did you hire security for the site?" He's like, "Oh, thank God, this." And he's like, "No, I'm planning to do that. Like, I still got time to do that." And she's like, "No,
he's
you
actually
don't."
relieved because he's like, "Oh, I can't be in that much trouble because like I thought I was in trouble for HR related stuff."
She's like, "Yesterday was some teenagers drinking at the site. One almost got drunk and died, and the teacher was drinking with him too, and he had no shirt on." No, like, that's such a random fucking story. So Brenda,
Okay, hold on. Because first of all, they actually, because I guess technically they're liable for it, but yes, that is the type of shit he would do. Like, he'll have these randomly extensive ass things that don't make sense, but I guess technically they are liable.
This is the thing I don't understand. Out of all the terrible things corporations and business can do and should be getting sued for, I've never understood these laws. I've never understood the laws of me, individual person, goes and does some dumb shit
breaks in,
where I'm not supposed to be, but because I'm on your property and I do this dumb shit, or something happens, you are liable for it. Out of all the things we should be suing corporations and businesses for, I've never understood that at all.
I actually agree with that. I do think though the one thing that's the issue is sometimes it's like a thin line between that and like, okay, I was legally there, but then you're like, it's fucking Chernobyl on your site and I got poisoning from that. Like, that shouldn't be happening anyway. But I agree with you. Like, this is like a very random excuse for what happened, and this is why I cannot
that
wait.
That shit happens all the time in real life too, and I'm just like, this is such a weird law.
With the shirt off of it all is so. I cannot wait for you to watch. I think you should leave, because if this is like a little bit random for you, we have a whole universe to explore.
So then she's like, "Ron, can I trust you to do your job or not?" And Ron's like,
"Because
you can count on me."
She goes, "Because I went hard for you because you're the same guy who quit his job before, mortgaged his house, and started an outdoor adventure company in the middle of suburban Ohio, and bought a Jeep and put a drawbridge in the middle of the woods. So are you sure you can do this?" And so we get this backstory about Ron, and I think that's what the wife was saying about, like, oh, it's been a hard couple years or whatever. Like, apparently Ron went off on this random thing where he thought he was going to start a new company and do his own thing, and it failed because he was trying to do like safari stuff in Canton, Ohio. Did you catch that?
Yes, I did. But I thought he was talking about somebody else. I misheard that.
No, she was saying
I thought she said, "Do you want to be like the guy who did that?"
No, she's saying because they were like, "Are you sure? Are you sure you want to promote the guy who did all that?" And he's like, "No, you can count on me. You can count on me." Because he's like, "Okay, I got a brand new lease on life. She's gonna give me another chance. I can do this."
So then Brenda says, "Don't fuck me." And he says, "I won't." So as he's leaving for work, someone is following Ron, and he starts to walk fast. He gets to his car.
Wait, hold on. No, wait, there's a little bit of a, so she's like, "Don't leave me." He's like, "Don't fuck me." He's like, "I won't." He goes, he deletes the photo of the picture out of his phone, of the chair of his phone. The music changes. He's like, "I'm going to get my shit together." He goes back to his office. He gets some work done. Like, he's like, "Okay, I'm going to get on it." Because this whole episode has been about him being like, hey, he having stuff to do with this new promotion, and he just cannot let go of this chair thing. Like, he wants an apology, he wants his moment back, he can't get it back. He wants to reclaim something here. That, I think that's the whole ethos of the character. He can't do it. So he's obsessed with it this whole episode. He finally decided, you know what? I'm tripping. My kid's graduating. My daughter's getting married. My wife's starting a new business. I need to get my shit together. Everything's going to be new. Everything's going to be good. Cue, like Brandon said, he's
And the
walking around
guy
his
runs
office.
up on him, and then he gets to his car, and the guy says, "Stop looking in to the chair company." And then he has like a tire iron or something, and it apparently hits
He has
him.
a pipe.
A pipe and knocks him down. But it
He
doesn't
hits
knock
him in
him
the
out for
head.
long. They make it seem like
Yeah.
it's long, but the guy's only like 5 feet away when he wakes up.
But literally knocks him out hits him in the head with the pipe.
And the guy drops the pipe. And so Ron gets up and starts walking towards the guy, and the guy realizes he don't have the pipe anymore, and he starts running away from Ron. And then while he's running, he starts unbuttoning his shirt.
At no point are they running full speed, though, mind you. They start speed walking, and then it turned. Sorry, because when he was coming out and the guy was behind him, it was that classic thing where he's like, "Is he following me?" So Ron speeds up, and then he speeds up, and so then when Ron goes after him, they're still going fast paced. They're still fast walking until he realizes like, "Oh shit!" And then they do start running because they're in their 40s. That neither one of them really runs. So it's worth going back to watch if you haven't seen it, just for the chase of it all.
And then while he's running away, the guy who ran up on Ron starts unbuttoning his shirt. And so that when Ron catches him, he grabs his shirt just comes off so he can get away. He can keep running. And so Ron's just standing there holding this guy's shirt in his hand.
What did you do when that happened?
I was like, this was smart. I was like, I never thought about that when somebody's chasing me.
I screamed in my house because just the visual of this man, this like guy who looks like a good fella, but he looks like an okay fella, and he's just taking off his shirt as he's speed walking through the parking lot at 11 p.m. outside of a mall, and he's standing there holding his Hawaiian shirt while the guy runs off into the darkness. And after all this craziness, we realize there's something going on with the chair company.
Yes, there's something going on with the chick. And that was the end of the episode. Great episode of TV. I was highly invested in this.
I was regretting it because I was like, I was like, this man could easily, like I said, by the end of this episode, have lost his job, lost his family. Okay. This is a bit of a spoiler, but it's all adjacent. So I did a review of Friendship. So Tim Robinson had a movie come out earlier this year with Paul Rudd, and it's a similar guy, not the same guy at all, but a similar guy who just like has a normal life, but just cannot accept it and let it be what it's going to be. And so in that movie, he ruins it all. This is just all like high level. He ruins it all. He gains it back by being really contrite. And at the last 10 minutes of the movie, do you know what he does?
What?
He ruins it all worse than ever before. Like he ruins it all. He scorches Earth, and the movie ends with there's like no redemption. That's
What?
how his first feature film ended.
I like this guy actually, I think.
So what I'm saying is that I was fully prepared for him to be divorced by the end of this episode. I was like, I'm trying to tell you it's gonna get so much worse than this. That's all I know. And so I was just watching it because I was like, he could do anything. Like he, yeah. So you're in for a ride. I'm glad that you're down for it. I'm gonna be the one who's gonna have a weak stomach this whole season because I just like. I'm telling you right now, he's gonna freak me out because he's not afraid to do the worst possible thing times 10.
So yeah, we'll be back later this week. Not live, but we're recording our for those on YouTube, it won't be live, but we're recording Gen V. We have 2 episodes to do of Gen V, so maybe we'll just do them together like we did last time. Maybe
Yeah, we probably will at this point.
So we have a couple episodes of Gen V, and then we'll be back next week.
As a reminder, guys, you can follow us on Instagram. We've been trying to put out more content. If you're on YouTube, like our little shorts that we've been dropping, I'm trying to do more throughout the week. So like little clips from our show to try to get people to know what we're all about. You can see that across all the socials and let us know what you think. Or what would really help is if there's any clips that actually made you laugh, if you could just tag them when you're listening to it on YouTube or comment. I don't even know if you could do it on Spotify, but just like let us know, because the hardest part is we do this, we stay in the moment. we record like 90 minutes, 2 hours, whatever, and or even an hour, and then going back and finding the best moments for clips is actually harder than ever for me because of how present we are. So if you want to help us find the best clips so that we can share it out, let us know. I'm happy to clip them and share them out. If you tell me like what made you laugh, I would really appreciate that. You can always leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or follow us after listening to us for a while on Spotify, and then give us a 5-star review there. Well, oh wait, no superlatives this week besides. I
Mm-mm.
have a question for you. Was there a mall in this episode?
No.
I would argue the work office felt very mallish.
No, it was mall adjacent.
If okay, that's mallish, mall adjacent. I'll give you that because of the way that the parking lot wrapped around.
Oh, that's what you said? Okay. All right. That's
So
fair.
okay, there's a see what's upsetting for me right now is that there's so much context in these comments on this clip that I want to explain it to you, but I can't because you just got it. You just like it's so stupid. Okay, so for example, um, will somebody please think about the tables? That's one of the comments under his post by the chair company. That's a reference to another sketch that's so stupid that even explaining it to you won't. You just
Yes.
have to see the sketch and that's it.
This is Curve. That's
His
what this
job is
is.
chairs. But even Curb doesn't have the level of quotables. This man has so many
Do
ridiculous
you
quotables.
respect Wood?
But that's because you think that post is funny, but people aren't under Larry's comments every time he posts saying, "Do you respect Wood?"
Well, Larry doesn't post anything.
Right, but I'm saying he has people who under all his comments are like, "Is chairs a job?" Because that's okay. I just had to ask you because this is a lot because I know we're already behind on a lot of movies. If I send you clips, will you watch them?
Yeah, I watched the clips.
Okay.
Are the clips?
Did you watch the Dan Flash's clips I sent you?
No, because I told you I didn't want to watch it till I watched the show. Now I'm gonna watch it.
But I sent it to you after you watched the show. I sent it to you
I know.
today.
Yeah, I know, but I was at the movies today.
Okay.
I told you that.
No, I understand. Okay, can you watch it tonight?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it.
Okay, I'm gonna start feeding you I'm gonna slowly feed you clips because I want to be able to do the quotes. I want you to get it because now that we're in the Tim Robinson cinematic universe, we got to be able to quote.
Okay, you can do that.
Okay, I'm gonna have you accept the challenge. Okay. Let's see. So somebody says, "Is this a time travel show? Be honest." Okay, I want to find the best. This guy yells, "Don't talk about tables." This is for anybody who understands it, and this is just for you to have your moment. I am I'm throwing water at you. Is also in these comments, and you sure about that? You sure about that? You sure about that? That's also in the comments. So guys, Tim Robinson Hive, you have a place to assemble every week when we go back and recap the Chair Company. Please come check us out. If you're here for Chair Company and haven't watched any other shows, go back and check out our playlist. We've recapped a bunch of different shows across sci-fi, fantasy, drama, comedy, all the stuff, HBO, Prestige TV, all of it. Let us know what shows you like, what shows you like to see. I'm trying to think about like what I want to figure out what the best quote to end on is because there's so many. Okay, I guess I'm gonna say, you guys, thank you so much for being here to the We Was Watching podcast. We can't wait for next week. Like Brandon said, we're gonna post about Gen V if you're watching that. If not, catch up. Until next time, please respect that these chairs